Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Obliterated, an 8 episode series currently on Netflix. And I happen to have binged all 8 episodes in one day because I actually like this show. Now, I didn't love this show. I didn't think this show was absolutely perfect. And from the first episode, I thought was a little bit weak. I was a bit worried of what I was getting myself in for, but I didn't think all the humor was that great. And I thought it was a very Americana, gung-ho-ish military bollocks. And somebody who's a Brit who's not an American, I don't necessarily appreciate that gung ho shit that America likes to fucking flag worship to. But it was actually parodying that at times, and so I can appreciate that. Now, this is a comedy, definitely, and it's violent and it's got a lot of nudity and sex in there as well. And you are going to see penises as well as tits as well. So, stuff like that bothers you, then you're going to have an issue with the series. Stuff like that doesn't bother me, so I don't mind. But don't get me wrong, you can have flesh in a show and it's done stupidly. I didn't think it was done that badly in this particular show. So, what is this show? Well, it's an amalgamation of many things that we've seen before. Honeymoon in Vegas, 24, the series with Kiefer Sutherland. I would also throw in The Hangover. Definitely, that's a big influence on this series. Weekend at Bernie's, you'll know what I mean if you watch this series about Weekend at Bernie's. I guess A-Team and G.I. Joe, you throw all of that in as well as that American Pie humor too. And yeah, you get Obliterated. The synopsis of this show is that our military badasses are stopping a nuclear bomb from going off in Las Vegas. They succeed in the first episode and they decide to party really hard after succeeding as because they're victorious, and they do lots of drugs and they do lots of alcohol whilst they're partying. But they find out from their superiors that the bomb that they stopped from blowing up was actually a decoy, and there's a real nuclear bomb somewhere in within Las Vegas, and they need to stop that as well. And so they get on board to stopping that, but these guys are already drunk and they're already high as fuck. And so because they're under the influence and having to stop a nuclear bomb, it causes a lot of shenanigans, and that's where we get some of our comedy. Obviously, our characters themselves, they're all, unique characters within their own right, and so there's comedy coming from them, from who they are as individuals. Now, there are certain moments in this that I'm not sure I necessarily appreciate it, but some of the payoffs were pretty good. For instance, there's one long-winded joke that went throughout the entire series of one of our guys who is always hungry. He's hungry since he started partying, and he's always had an opportunity to get some food, but he just misses out from eating. And this joke went on for every episode, and it was really pissing me off at times. I thought to myself, let the motherfucker eat. I can't handle this joke anymore. But when they did pay it paid off pretty well in my opinion. They done it in a way which was quite clever. There was also another moment which I thought was really done well regarding our bomb disposable expert, played by the legendary C.Thomas. He likes to dispose of bombs or stop them from blowing up by listening to music. But in one particular scene where he has to stop a bomb from blowing up, he has no music to listen to, but he just so happened, whilst he was drunk, get married to some random girl who happens to be a singer, and she starts singing to him the very song that he likes to listen to when he's doing his work, and that gives him the influence to dispose of this bomb he has to deal with later on in the series. And I thought that moment was really well done, very clever. There's also a sort of heel turn character twist done by one of the players within this show. I kind of thought this person is not who they say they were initially, and as the episodes went by, maybe I was wrong about that person. I thought maybe this person is maybe who they're supposed to be portrayed as, but then it turned out to be correct by the latter episodes that this person was not who they were supposed to be, and yet the turn came along. It was in my face, and I guess I've watched enough TV series and shows and films and stuff to pick up on these vibes, and I definitely picked up on that one. Overall, I did have a good time with the show. It's adult orientated. There's so much bubblegum kiddie shit nowadays. To see something that's not for kids is always a pleasure, and especially when it comes to comedy as well. So I like that, and it was action packed as well. So it ticked a few boxes for me. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I did like this. It was a lot better than it wasn't. But let me know what you think out there in YouTube land and TikTok land. How did you find this series? Have you seen it? Will you watch it? And don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know. And of course, subscribe to NerdTube. We're on TikTok and YouTube. We are the greatest channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.